Hey guys, welcome back to the Story Behind podcast. I'm excited to talk about my latest single, World on Fire. This song is sort of connected to the next two songs that I'm going to be releasing in July and August. So this sets the stage for the world that I've built in these songs, which kind of paints the picture of a artificial intelligence driven world and the removal of God, the removal of a moral compass, and what could happen if that were to become self-aware and start to basically enslave humanity, similar to a lot of sci-fi that we've seen, the Terminator and things like that. It's kind of what spawned this idea. The original idea of World on Fire was there was that feeling that we all felt uh, during cancel culture, during COVID, where people were being silenced and you were being told to quote up another song of mine, disbelieve your lying eyes. So you would start to see, and there's a period where you started to feel like I'm one of the only people that views the world the way that I do, and if people knew how I knew my views, knew my opinions on things, they might put me away or worse. So I started to think about a world where that went unchecked and there wasn't any uh, pendulum swing back in the other direction. So when I did that, I wrote several songs that kind of were in that world, and they are going to be released immediately following World on Fire. So it's kind of they're loosely connected concept trilogy. And coming up with the idea of this song, I would say back in 2020, when my wife was a music teacher at my kid's former school, I was playing around in between a recital or waiting for their annual recital, and I was just in her classroom playing around on the piano, and I came up with an idea for a song, or at least a musical part for a song that's yet to be released. But that was kind of the first uh, concept, the first idea that maybe I could still write music, and then I didn't really do anything with it. So you flash forward another 2 years or so, I still had that part in my head. And we had moved, we were settled, the piano got tuned, and I just started to tool around on the piano again. And I came up with several ideas. I think it was 5 or 6 ideas on the piano, all of which developed into songs that will be released. Ones that have been released so far are Skeletons, which was a demo that went with Under Your Spell. I also have the next song that's coming out in July, Hard Times, came from that session. The very first song that I completed, which will be coming out next year. This is the hard part about this whole process is like I have all these songs, and originally I was going to release them all in the order that they were written, but then I kind of lost track of the order that they were written in, and I just kind of have just been doing whatever ones popped into my head. Which ones do I want to focus on? But these next three, I really wanted to release bang, bang, bang because they were all uh, connected in that way. And specifically, these songs were written primarily on the piano. And I'll be sharing a clip of the piano parts that I play that I wrote and with the chords and everything. So if you ever want to learn and play them along, you can. Hey guys, I'm going to show you some rudimentary piano that I play on World on Fire and also give you the chord progressions so that if you ever want to play along and teach yourself my songs, you can do that. First, we have it's in the key. The key is A flat or G sharp minor. So the first chord is an A flat or G sharp minor 9. And I actually don't play the minor, which would be that. So I emphasize it. But the reason it's the minor 9 is because of what the other instruments are playing. The guitar is playing that note in there. So it starts with the root of A flat or G sharp, and then I do a bass note of B flat. So it's next you have an E. So this is an E2 with the third with no 5. So it's an E, F sharp, G sharp, and then it's an E major 9 without the 5th. So it's a root E, E flat, F sharp, G sharp. So we got that's the whole verse. And then the chorus is it's bar chords or power chords. It's G sharp, C sharp, E, A, G sharp, F sharp, G. That's the whole chorus. And then you have the verses again. And then when it comes out of the second chorus, it says, "There's a world on fire where birds cannot be." C sharp minor. So B major. To the bridge is G sharp or A flat, A minor, D minor, B flat, G sharp, A minor, D minor, C sharp major, or D flat major. Same chords, G sharp, A minor, D minor, and then this chord, D full diminished 7. It's a D, F, A flat or G sharp, B with the root D. Can I make it on my own? Can I make it on my own? Back to the A flat minor 9. So that's World on Fire. When I was coming up with this idea, I had a very vivid picture of someone basically on the run in a city that was in the middle of riots, chaos, sirens are blaring, and he was like huffing and puffing as he was running, trying to get away. He's being pursued by whatever governing authority was in place. And it was very vivid in my mind. And I started to write with a high energy, kind of like pulse pounding feeling. And immediately the words started to come out. And I had the whole song written except for the bridge, which my brother would then write. And I sent it off to him, and he came up with the idea for the bridge. And when we were recording it, it went through a variety of iterations, which I'm going to share with you so you can hear the progress that was made. Really quickly, I just wanted to go through the various iterations of this song. So it started off back in 2023 when I started writing songs on the piano to try to kickstart this songwriting endeavor. I had never really written songs on piano, so I started with this piano part. I'll just play it for you guys. So you can hear it's just rudimentary, coming up with different parts. I got the verse and the chorus, just the ideas, and that was all I had. Then I decided to put together a loose demo. I had written some lyrics on a flight in 2023 to my dad's house, and I decided to try to put them to this. So I put together the original demo. You get to hear some of that. Kind of what you can imagine the song being. Then I did, and that was without the full version of the song. It didn't have the bridge. This is what I would have sent to my brother, and he wrote the bridge to the song, which I then recorded in my own complete demo form. So this song actually had a lot of iterations trying to get the finished product. So this is the version with the bridge. And then I realized I really was leaning into the 80s sound, so I added some synths, and I really wanted my dad's friend is a very talented saxophone player. His name's Ron Lorenzo. He lives in Punta Gorda, Florida with my dad. So got him in for a session, and he just went. And I gave him the loose idea, the loose guideline, which was the guitar line that I had. And I said, solo here, and then took all of his different versions, put together the iconic version that you now hear in the song. That's World on Fire. Man, that guy does a great breakdown, doesn't he? Anyway, when we were writing it, I felt the need to incorporate other sounds and elements, and it ended up becoming a little bit difficult because when I released the song, I got flagged because of the sirens, something that I thought was royalty-free and still believe is royalty-free, was flagged because sirens apparently are the most easily flagged by, ironically enough, the AI algorithm. So it's really funny how that that little detail is tied into this song, because that's where we're heading in the storytelling of my songwriting, is the AI apocalypse, which is what the next two songs are kind of about. So I encourage you to listen to World on Fire, like it, save it, and subscribe to me on your various digital music platforms. That way you'll be notified when the next two songs come out that are loosely connected. I also have a couple other songs in the works that are that serve as sort of the prequel to this End of Days saga. Uh, and as I had mentioned in a previous video, Do or Die was a song that was written independently. But as I was looking at these different songs and the different ideas, I was like, wow, this actually kind of ties into this post-apocalyptic world, or this, end of days world. Especially once I incorporated the synth sounds and the artwork. Sorry, I got my cat here and he's standing up on my knee, and he's probably going to attack my arm in a second. But it was cool how those all came together. So at some point I might package them together, and I also have two other songs that I'll be adding to it. So it would be a total of 6 or 7 songs that would be considered this End of Days saga. So stay tuned and subscribe to me on your favorite digital music platform. That way you'll be notified when the new songs come out. And you can also support me. I'm going to be releasing a physical version of the songs I've released, and that'll be coming out hopefully on the 1st of the year. And the first section of songs will be grouped together, and I'm going to be collecting. It'll be like $20 for a physical copy signed, and you can start to give and put a little note in the Venmo, Cash App, or Buy Me a Coffee that this is for a physical copy of the first album when it comes out, and then I will mail that off to you as soon as it's printed. And I really appreciate you guys supporting me on this journey.